He's angry about mortgages. It's Angry Mortgage. He's swearing. He's cursing loud. He's old. He's opinionated. And he's been doing this so damn long. This program is about mortgages, and this is mortgage advice, but the advice may not apply to your situation. Contact licensed mortgage professionals for specific recommendations before you make decisions about mortgages. You may not agree with Ron, but if you don't, he thinks you're wrong. Oh, and did we say there is a lot of swearing?
What drives fixed rates? Bond yields drive fixed rates. So I'll come back to the bond yields in a minute because they need a proper explanation. So rates were not really falling much, but bond yields were. So the rates were coming down a bit. They'd been coming down a bit for 3 straight weeks prior to the Trump tariff tantrum. Okay. One thing about a T name, there's lots of alliteration you can do all the time. Like there's so much you can do. So then the bond yields fell off a cliff when the tariffs were announced. Like they dropped like 18 points, like just like that. And then during the course of the day, there's Trudeau. I'll be having conversations with the president. He gets very breathy. I will be talking to the president and we will do our best. Okay. So then Trump says, I'm going to guess the conversation went something like, all right, so you promised to get rid of the fentanyl and okay, fuck it. Justin, I'll give you another month. Smarten the fuck up. And there's a reprieve for a month. There's no tariffs for a month. All right. So same in Mexico. Like, it's odd, right? Like, yeah, essentially the same promises to do the same fucking things that, and it only lasted minutes, right?
Yeah. It was super short.
Sheer fuckery. Okay. So the bond just went right back up again. But what happened was they'd fallen off such a cliff that I can only assume the banks all looked at each other and said, well, the drift down that we saw in bond yields for the course of the whole previous 3 weeks is indicative of how bad things are.
Right.
And, there was the trough that happened up and down when the tariffs were announced and then removed. But, they didn't go up any higher. Like, so again, trend is down, slowly down. Bond yields down, 3 straight weeks, tariff tantrum. And then, but the bond yields just went back to where they were essentially the minute they declared the tariff.
Yeah.
So that meant every bank, every lender said, okay, this is where they are now. This is not a fluke. This is really where these bond yields are. All right, let's dig into bond yields. So
yeah, explain what the hell
what the hell's a bond yield. All right, so fixed mortgage rates are driven by bond yields, and that's because unlike a variable rate, so when we think about a variable rate, it's just a discount for the Bank of Canada, right?
Yeah.
So if the Bank of Canada drops 25 basis points, drops a quarter point, your bank prime drops a quarter point, and all of your rates reset and all of your interest resets to that. So your payment might drop, your HELOC interest goes, but it's easy. There's the announcement. Here's the new rate.
Right.
That's it. And all of those programs, those mortgage programs for variable rate, they're funded through something called CORA. I won't bore everybody to death, but in essence, it's just a kind of 90-day rolling rate. Okay. They used to call them banker's acceptance. But essentially it's just how banks trade with each other.
How do I figure out my penalty? I have a 5-year fix, 3.5 years to go. I'm sure the bank guy said it's 3 months interest penalty.
Okay. So it's not. This is what I'll tell you. I mean, this is a very, very common thing we get from people calling in. Oh yeah, I think I should pay the penalty because rates are down. Like I've got a 5.69 rate and I'd like to get a better rate. I think you're advertising this 3.94 rate. Can I get that? You have to calculate the penalty because if you've got a fixed rate mortgage It's not 3 months. You read the paragraph, it says two things. That's why people think it's 3 months, because they just read the first thing. It says the penalty shall be, in your contract, 3 months interest penalty or interest differential based on the calculation of the interest rates at the time versus your rate.
Oh, wow.
Which is incomprehensible. Like every bank has a different calculation.
Right.
Some of these banks have 11 paragraphs on how to do the calculation.
So it would be different for each person. I mean.
But always more than 3 months.
Right.
Always more than 3 months, because the last part of that contract clause says the greater of the two.
Wow.
The greater thereof. So you never get 3 months interest on a fixed. You always get 3 months interest penalty on a variable. Every single contract reads the same. 3 months interest penalty. Okay.
Yeah.
On variable, but not on fixed. Fixed. Fuck if it's a bad calculation, because again, every bank has different contract wording to their calculation of the penalty. To the break penalty. So yeah, you got to stop and somehow dig that information out of the bank before you think about. You can't just say, yeah, I'm sure it's 3 months and it's this much. No. What if you find out it's triple that?
Right. No, you really got to do your math.
You have to do your digging and get that right answer.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I know a lot of people are thinking about it, because if you have 529 and you see 394, you're going to think about it. So, and you should, but you got to do your homework first. And don't listen to bullshit artists in mortgage broker world who are telling you, yeah, guaranteed it's going to be great.
Yeah.
You need to see the math. You need to dig it out of your bank, what their exact estimate of your penalty is. It won't be perfect. It'll only last that day, but it's close enough, and you'll be able to make a rational decision, seeing what it's really costing you to break.
Yeah.
So.
If you like the pod, well, don't just sit there. Go to YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and all the other ones and like the pod. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep being angry at mortgages and swearing about mortgages. Angry Mortgage could use your support.